Hello everybody, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily contents. Yes, people, welcome to LFC Red Forever channel. We're doing the review show, which is Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest, which finished 3-2 to Liverpool. It's one of those games, isn't it? It's one of those games. Once you thought you turned the corner, they come back and get you. So let me bring on, obviously, my first guest, which is Harley. Let's go, bro. What is going on?
What's happening? Good evening.
Have you recovered?
Yeah, well, I'm still wearing the outfit of a fucking sick person. Like, do you know what I mean? My dressing gown and the lot. But no, I feel a bit better now. I wasn't feeling great earlier today, but I'm good. That Forest game was a wild thing to endure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, bro. Let's talk about it. Yeah, so as everybody's aware, we won the game by 3 goals to 2. The first half, we dominated. I thought we dominated it, and we limited their chances, but we didn't create enough chances from open play. But the set pieces was more of a threat, Harley. What did you think about the game in general in the first half?
Looking at the possession numbers straight away, I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know Nottingham Forest isn't the strongest of opposition, but to have 82% possession, something like that anyway, possession in the 80s against any Premier League side is really impressive and shows that we were tactically set up well, we built up well. So that area, which is where I think Liverpool have struggled the most this season on the ball, to see that kind of be fixed, it's really good to see. And it makes me feel really confident going forward into the rest of the games. Could we have created a few more chances, particularly early on? Potentially. Yeah. But Forest's entire game was to just stop us from creating, and we managed to get ourselves around that. So I'm happy overall. It really reminds me of a game from our title winning season. I feel like that's a game that we would have played in 2019, 2020, while we were on the path to winning the league. And so to be reminded of that while having what I would say is a really unique, impressive performance that I really think we can build on, I'm happy with it. Yeah,
looking at the league, it's not bad, is it? Now 6 points off the top. Obviously, we've got a game in hand over Aston Villa. So if we win our game in hand, we go like 53 points above them. We'll be
Villa's fixtures are horrible as well, mate. I was looking at them. I was talking to my mate earlier. I don't know if you've seen them, but there's not one easy game that Aston Villa have.
Oh,
they're all really hard.
Do you think like Unai Emery has made an impact there? Is it a honeymoon impact, or is this the way he is as a manager? Do you rate him
I think he's I do think he's a really good manager. I kept up with Villarreal quite a lot. I've always had a big soft spot for them. Just because they're a really nice bunch of lads. Like the supporters, they sing Yellow Submarine, don't they, by the Beatles? So they admired us as well. When we played them in the Champions League, we were all drinking in the same pubs and all shaking hands and hugging outside the ground. And so, that's made me like them even more. So I've tried to keep up with them a little bit, more so than most teams anyway. And Unai Emery has really done wonders for them. And he's a good manager. I feel like a lot of people underestimate and underrate him because of his time at Arsenal.
100%.
Arsenal was obviously a very big step up. He didn't really speak the language very well. And having to follow after Arsene Wenger is a really hard act to follow. But I think he's a really underrated and really good manager, and he's showing that in the Premier League now with Aston Villa. Do I think he'll finish in the top 6, top 7, whatever. No, I don't. I think there's better sides there.
Do you think it's too early
with
for
easier
him?
Fixtures? But I think even the way he's turned the season
Harley,
now,
do you think like it's a bit too early for him to finish in the top 4 right now? Like,
yeah, and just the fixtures as well, mate. Like that's alone for me is enough for me to say, yeah, there's no chance. But I just think it's a perfect storm of everything. I think they're a good team, but they've got no business being above us, in my opinion. I'll be shocked if they finish above us or Brighton, or I can even see maybe Brentford, Fulham leapfrogging them, to be honest.
Yeah. Like you said, the fixtures will be hard for Aston Villa eventually. I think they're going to drift down the table. But with us, like I said, we've got. Can you see it? Is the table okay? Can you see it?
It's up for me.
Yeah,
I have to.
Yeah, let me go through the comments and I'll discuss the table. So, Statman Stubb says, "Big up Fozzie, mate. Big up, bro. Please go subscribe to him if you're new to the channel." Jamie Phillips, the main man. Jamie Phillips is my mate. Both of them are actually. Jamie Phillips is just one of a kind. So please go subscribe to him. Lewis Smith, Jamie Phillips says, big up, mate. Yes, thank you for that. Lewis Smith says, happy for you to be doing this on a regular. Make sure you're happy, mate. I'm happy, man. I'm happy. I'm back to normality. And then you got Janet saying 1,000 soon, Harley. So we will get there one day, bro. We'll get there one day. We'll share the channel around and get to the 1,000, man. And then you got John Conway, the regular guy. He's been with me. John Conway has been part of this channel for years, man, and he's always. I
always see him in the comments. He's always there.
He helps all Liverpool fans.
And...
Yeah. Listen, I've done it since from like 2019, and he's been there from the beginning, bro. And you can see him in other Liverpool football channels, even Coppish and things like that. And he's always supportive of his own, own fans. That's what it's supposed to be in it, Harley. That's how we are.
Yeah, exactly. Coppish is fantastic, by the way. Just want to give him a quick.
They're honest, They're honest, man. That's what I like about them. Obviously, Janet saying that, and then you got John Conway saying big up for Z. Redbird, Redbird. I met him on this channel. I met him on Jamie Phillips' channel. He came over to this channel and he brought a lot of people with him as well, bro. He's a top guy, man, and I appreciate that. He's my age as well, so he always says the olden days and all that stuff. So he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Anton, I'm coming to you in a minute. Redbird in
Spurs have
Newcastle. Who have Spurs
tomorrow,
got
mate?
Next? They got Newcastle, mate.
Newcastle
so the ones above us are playing each other. What do you think of that game anyway, Harley?
Well, I hope Tottenham win it, because if Newcastle take that, then that's a 9-point gap between us and the top of the table. Where I'd rather have that than and be 6 points behind Tottenham with a game in hand.
Spot on.
So from a Liverpool point of view and a top 4 chasing point of view, which I still believe we will do and can do, I think as if you're a Liverpool fan, particularly with the ambitions of top 4, you're going to want to see Newcastle get beat there. But in terms of what I think will happen, I can see it being a cagey affair. Probably anything could happen. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
But
Anything can happen, bro.
I'm going to say it'll end up a draw, but I hope Tottenham do it.
Yeah. I think it'll be easier to catch Tottenham than actually Newcastle, because Newcastle haven't got us. Tottenham could face them at Anfield and beat them, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Anton, what's going on, bro? You alright?
Hey, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
That's alright, man.
Cool.
Alice says, hi, lads. So what do you think of the table now, Ant? Is it looking good?
Yeah, it's looking right. It's looking all right. But if you ask me personally, I wouldn't want to. I don't even want Europe.
No. I'd rather concentrate in the league.
I don't want Europe. I want to just start again. Look, Arsenal doing well because they really have no responsibility.
What, even the Champions League?
The Europa Leagues.
No, it means Europa League and Conference League. That's what it means. Go ahead, Anton.
Yeah. So no, it'd be nice if we don't have no Europe. I'm sorry. I know I might be stoned to death for this, but I'd rather that, so we can just concentrate on playing the league and for everything else.
Very strong with the opposite for several reasons, but if you don't want to go into that necessarily, we don't have to. But my point of view really is just I'm probably thinking of this from a match going point of view. I don't know how often you go to games, Anton. You might go every week for all I know.
But sporadically.
Yeah, I enjoy the midweek games. I do. Whether it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I love the midweek games. The atmosphere is better. Even going on away games as well. Like when on the rare occasion I do get to do a European away, I get to travel the world and watch the Reds, and so do my mates. So I'm happy with that as well. And I just think, if we're playing in like a Europa League group stage, Conference League group stage, the players that don't usually get as many minutes, I think it'll be good for them. And even just a chance to win a trophy. Like, I know the Conference League might not be the most prestigious thing, but a trophy's a trophy. And with the Europa League especially, it's the one thing that Klopp's tried to win that he's not managed to win.
Yeah.
And so, why not take it off the list if the opportunity's there? Of course, I'd rather get top 4, but that's just my opinion.
I think top four is like just to show people, look, we've got top 4. And to maybe get players in if they're like interested in playing the Champions League. But for me personally, I think why Arsenal are doing so well is because of that not being in the Champions League. You know what I mean? I think it's one of the factors as well.
No, I agree. I've said it many times. Like when people ask me that question, since we have a bad season, do you want to get into the Europa League? I say no, because it's too much commitment. You know what I mean? If we're going to concentrate on the league next season, we'll just concentrate on the league. You know what I mean? We don't need the Europa League. We've got enough of them as it is. You know what I mean? We're still the record holders in the English team, so
That's
we don't need to worry about that. If we concentrate more on the league, then if we focus solely on the league and get the new players in, we could get the point. You know, like with us. We can't do head-to-heads, Anton and Harley, because if we do head-to-heads, there's always a screw job along the way, as you guys know. Every single time there's something happens. But if we could get the points on the board straight away, try to get away from everyone as soon as possible in the league, then we could run away with it. You know what I mean? That's how I want it. Because I think if you play in the Europa League, you still have to register a lot of senior players, don't you?
True.
So you've got to get away from things like that, man. But listen, I'd rather win the league. That's what I want. That's the bread and butter, as they call it. And hopefully next season, with the right players, right signings, we could get to that destination again. Because all we have to do is pluck the gaps that we need to pluck, and I think we'll be fine after that. I'd rather, like I've always said, I'd rather know what we need than not know. You know what I mean? We know what we need is to refurbish that midfield. Refurbish that midfield, and then reach top after that as well. So and what did you think of the result today, man? Because a lot of goals, bro. A lot of goals, man. And the defending was a lot to be desired, man. Every ball in the air was a threat. It was a threat, man.
It was a different entity with Nottingham Forest. They were just forcing balls forward. They remind me of the old Stoke.
Rolling the laps, yeah.
It was all up in the air. It was like volleyball, man. But it was causing us problems, man. So fair dues to them, but defending was poor again.
Yeah, I think we've got to work on that defensive side of it, man. I think looking at like Konate today, I've discussed it with Jamie Phillips and a friend of mine before about with Konate in general, about him being the replacement for Virgil van Dijk. I said, no, we don't need... Konate can be a supporter to an intelligent defender, you know what I mean? That can pass the ball, that can retrieve the ball, that could, like, he's not a leader. That's what I'm trying to say.
He's not a leader.
So you need someone like a mirror image of Virgil van Dijk to support him. Yeah. If you get what I mean.
I agree for now, but to play the devil's advocate and to stick up for the lad, he is only 22 years old.
I know.
Because he's so good. A lot of people don't realise that. He could really come into his own, and he's already like a quality defender.
But I can see he's not the libero. He's not the captain, the one who's going to lead the line. He's not that guy. You can tell in his personality. You can tell. You need someone who's going to call the line and say go track back, mark or hold the line. No. He needs someone with him. He's not that defender. He's a good defender. Don't get me wrong.
For me, I'm in a state of mind of time will tell. If he blossoms, he blossoms. If he does, he doesn't. But
no, Harley, you're making the mistake. Like we're not saying he's an awful defender.
No,
we're saying like for years we didn't have an Alan Hansen. I don't know. Yeah. You might not know how. You might know of him, but you don't know what he done. Me and Anton watched Alan Hansen as kids. That was our heroes.
Yeah, he was a real leader.
So he was a leader among his men. So any mistakes, he will draw you out. He will, if the team needs calming down, he will calm you down.
He would say, "This is abysmal." That's his favorite word. This is abysmal.
This is abysmal. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Every week a match of the day is to rinse, what's his name, Titus Bramble.
Titus Bramble.
Kill him every
he was
week.
pony.
Without fail. Oh, look at this defending. Typical of him. It's abysmal.
Titus Bramble was, for those of you who aren't aware, he was yesteryear's Tyrone Mings. I'm going to put it to you.
Oh, he was awful.
Yeah.
He was absolutely awful.
Pony.
Listen, if Tyrone Mings is watching this, bro, please don't assassinate us. Because
Tyrone, I just want to go on record and say Tyrone Mings is a really good guy and I really respect him. I just don't think he's but
I think so too.
No, genuinely, like he does a lot of work for like charity and things like that, and things. But I like him. I don't want to sit there and shit on him, but I just don't think he's a very good defender. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but it's honesty, innit, at the end of the day. But what defense? Like they're always going to need that type of defender, a leader at the back that commands it. We haven't had it for years. We've got Van Dijk, and now you see the difference when you have a defender like that at the back that leads the defense. Yeah. That's
Hippier was one of them as well.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Alice says I'm happy with the relegation zone.
Jamie Carragher.
Oh, is Derby getting relegated, Harley?
No. She's out about the Premier League because obviously Forest the 19th, aren't they? Derby actually went into the playoff spots today, the 6th.
Yeah. The 6th. Redbird says we all want top 4, but if we don't get it, I'd rather have Europa than nothing. Okay,
100% for me.
Each to their own, innit? Each to their own. Big up, Mr. Jamie Phillips. Thanks for coming on, brother. No Europa doesn't mean we will be better in the league.
I mean, it could do, but not necessarily.
Listen, if you want more cups, then compete for the FA Cup and the League Cup, then, innit? If you want more games, you know what I mean? So we could do something like that. It just doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't do it for me.
No, I'm good with Europa League if we play our reserves.
I'm sure we will. And that's actually a pro, in my opinion. If you look at a lot of our players, such as like your Gerrards, McManamans, Fowlers, and players like that, a lot of them actually did come through playing in the Europa League, in the UEFA Cup at the time, in like the shit matches, basically. So it could be a blessing in disguise. It could be really big for players like Bichette, Ben Doe, players like that.
Well, Harley, today's game, it was completely different to the Leeds United game. I don't know if you guys noticed, there wasn't no closing down in this game. It was more like, deep line defending team versus attack. We tried to create chances, but we just wasn't getting anywhere. It was like the old days again. Are we reverting back to that, or what's going on with the actual team, Anton? Why aren't we doing the things we done in this league on a consistent basis?
With different teams, you have to change things up a little bit. I don't think you can do the same thing that we've been doing over time. You see, because teams are reading us now, and just before the lockdown, or just after lockdown, so you see our teams were just sitting back and said, we know you like to keep the ball. Do you know what? We're just low block, boring, counter attack. So that's they thought they can get more joy if they play that way. So this is where you need that someone special to carve something out of nothing. You know what I mean? That's why I think they got Thiago. Yeah. Well, they was on the right track of doing that, but they should have got someone else at least.
Younger, fresh ideas.
Who could play? You could play more games, instead of being injured all the time. I love you, Thiago, but yeah.
But Anton, do you think this formation we're playing suits a number 10? Like someone intelligent? Arsenal do it.
It can harbour a 10. It can harbour a 10. Yeah. But he has to work hard though. He can't be a 10 who's just lays around, make a pass and do a dribble and not run back. He's gonna have to work hard with the rest of the team.
Yeah, 100%. What about you, Harley? Do you think next season we should chase someone that could play in that role, the number 10 role? Odegaard does it for Arsenal, and it looks good. They play 4-3-3 as well. Yeah,
it's. I feel like we will go for someone. We already have some players within the squad who can kind of do that, but whether we want to go out and maybe look at a Mason Mount, who we spoke about the other day, or somebody of that kind of mould, I could see us going for that. Obviously, in a perfect world, we would want Jude Bellingham, but that looks increasingly unlikely. I feel like we have done elements of that today, and with Curtis Jones. Sorry to revert back to him, but I did think that was what he was kind of doing, and I was impressed with his work rate and his tracking back. and his overall game. He lost the ball a couple of times.
I think this be at the 4 or 5 games he had. I think this has been his worst one. I think he didn't do. He done a lot of mistakes than good today.
It was his worst one, but the worst of the best bunch, in my opinion. I really didn't. I thought he was good today.
Curtis, yeah, it was like Curtis.
Yeah, I didn't think he was. Yeah, I think he was mind blowing, but he was good. He's not like awful like some people would make out.
Yeah.
Like a certain big account on Twitter, they was tweeting out like as soon as he made this mistake, they were immediately on it, like type. He's so slow on the ball, he dwells on the ball. I'm not going to turn around and like call up that person out, but if you've seen that tweet, you'll probably know what I'm on about. I doubt he's watching it anyway. I'm sure he's got better things to do at this time. But fair enough. I feel like people really do like to target him a bit, which is what it is. But he wasn't man of the match today.
No, not many of them. It's not just him. A lot of them didn't play very well.
I thought I said this in the group chat before. I'm going to re-say it like virtually word for word. I thought everyone today who played for us was somewhere between fine to fantastic.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's alright to be fine. It's alright to have a fine game where you don't necessarily stand out, but you don't make too many big mistakes. You do your basic jobs, and that's what I feel like. The worst players on the pitch today were all like that, which I'm happy with because usually, especially against teams like Forest, that's enough to get you the 3 points. I also feel like the 3-2 scoreline was a little bit flattering in favour of Forest. It didn't feel like the opportunities they had should have led to 2 goals.
It was just from throw-ins.
Yeah. And when I checked,
it was the old Stoke, wasn't it?
The biggest chance they created was that Brennan Johnson one as soon as he come on that actually hit the bar. That was the only one for me they should have scored from, and they never even scored off it.
Yeah, that's true.
But
yeah, you're right, 100%. Alice says, think it's so entitled to refuse Europe altogether. Some people will never get to see their clubs in Europe in that position.
You will one day.
But
I do agree with that.
No, she's right. Don't get me wrong, bro. But you know, we've got a bigger fish to fry, which is the Premier League.
I'll put it to you this way, bro. If you were to put the options in front of me and went, okay, you get no Europe, but you win the Prem next season, I'd probably be willing to take that. But it doesn't necessarily guarantee. If you put the two on a table in front of me and I had to sign the don't win the league but be in Europe contract or the get no Europe and win the league contract, you're an idiot if you don't sign the last one. But it's not necessarily a guarantee. So that's it could turn out like that, but it's all if buts and maybes and what ifs and all things like that. So I'm just taking it like as it goes.
The thing is, Harley and Anton, the reason I'm saying I don't want Europa League is I just want a sole focus on one competition next season if we can't get the Champions League. And the Premier League is the one we can get. You know what I mean? Because look at Arsenal. They come from 5th to the top. Obviously, they're blowing it right now, but we've got opportunity. You know what I mean? Once we correct those areas, we can actually do it.
You can see it in Arsenal. Because their schedule was not that busy, and they were just pumping teams every week. It was that, guys, we can just do this all the time.
Yeah.
And then we don't have to play. Oh, do you know what? Next month we're going to play Europa League. Okay. And you're playing Rapid Vienna. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
traveling out of the country every single time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can
a competition
you're
not even serious about.
Like you said, last year they'll finish 5th, and this year look at them.
Look at them. Yeah. So anything's possible, guys. Honestly, anything's possible. We just gotta believe in it as well. Redbird says he agreed with Alice. He says exactly about Europe. We should be grateful that we got it if we could get it. Redbird says on the flip side, if City don't win the league, would that be because they played in Europe? Makes no sense. You got to be in it to win it. Redbird. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, but you know, I'm learning from past mistakes. That's why I want us to push forward with the Premier League next season.
Listen,
and look.
Don't get me wrong,
Anton and Harley. Doesn't Klopp say a lot of times the team needs a lot of rest, right? That's what he says. Yeah. He needs a lot of break. So this is the perfect opportunity if we don't get to top 4.
Don't get me wrong. I'm all for Europe and any cup we can get in. You know what I'm saying? But that's my personal preference. If it was up to me, but I know it won't be up to me. It'd be great if they finish for Champions League. You know what? It's a win-win situation for me personally.
Yeah.
All I'm going to do is present the point that, like, say we're in the group stage of like the Europa Conference League or even the Europa League. I really don't think Klopp's going to put out Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson, and a lot of them against, like, I don't know, what kind of teams would you be playing there? Rapid Vienna's under 12s or whatever.
That's true. That's true. So obviously Jota scored twice and Salah scored once, Harley. What do you think of Jota now, mate? Is he coming to his own again, guys? Can we trust him on a regular? Because a lot of people were saying sell him to Newcastle. You know, Newcastle won him, so sell him.
No, don't sell him.
What do you think, Harley? Remember, Harley, a lot of people were saying that time on the chat.
I thought that was an outrageous shout, to be honest, but like you've seen all these stats about how he hasn't scored in this amount of days or this amount of games, but he's come back in now and he's totally flipped it back on. And this is the Diogo Jota that helped us nearly win all 4 trophies now. This is the Diogo Jota that helped Jacko to top 4 the year before that. Like, you're seeing that same player now. And the fact that you could argue that player at his best doesn't even get into our best 11, it just shows me how good our attack depth.
Spot on. Anton, what do you think of Jota, mate? Did you want to sell him as well?
No. We don't sell none of our forward line, please. I know Firmino's going, but I'm fuming about that. Harry's going Barcelona.
Did you want him to stay?
A great move for him.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm a romantic, innit? I love the way he plays. His football is brilliant, man. I love the way he touches and things like that. When he has his worst game, don't get me wrong, I've been fuming, I'm chatting on the TV, but away from watching the game. But when he plays the game nice, man. When he's on form, when he's flying, he's flying, man. He's one of the best. I don't want to sell Jota. No way.
We're gonna have a show on Firmino, guys.
He's clinical when he's on his game. When he's on his game, he's clinical, and you look at him, and defenders underestimate him. And he's mad good in the air. He's clever. He's slippery. Left foot, right foot finish, good touch. Sometimes he does give away the ball a bit of the time, but no way, please. No, we'll keep him, please. Thank you very much.
It's poetry to watch, mate.
Yeah.
He's poetry to
when
watch.
He's on fire. He's on fire. When he's on fire, he's flammable.
What people don't know, he's an all-rounder. You know, like people don't. What people don't know as well, he started as a number 10 in his youth career. He was the actual number 10. So he can play as a number 10.
He actually played there for Hoffenheim as well. He played there for Hoffenheim. And when we first signed
him... He played for Hoffenheim as well?
No, we're talking about Jota.
Oh, Jota.
We're talking about Firmino.
Oh, no. Firmino. Well, Firmino is a attacking midfielder initially. Yeah, I know that one. I know that.
He was a 10. And when we first signed him...
I didn't know about Jota, though.
Jota, on the other hand, I thought we were on about Firmino first, sorry. But Jota, you can definitely see the number 10 qualities in him, and we've played him there a handful of times. So it doesn't surprise me to hear that he was a 10 in his youth.
Yeah. Listen, he's a great player, man. Like, I wouldn't want to lose him. I've always said that. Like, he's just come back from an injury. Give the guy a chance. Let him come back to his own. You can't just judge a player after an injury and then expect him to do wonders straight away. It doesn't make any sense.
Injuries.
There's one player I want to talk about, guys. Yeah, and I'm worried. I'm worried, like, for him. It's Virgil van Dijk. Has that injury messed him up badly, guys, or is it just me, man?
Which injury is most recent one, or the one he got?
You know, the knee one. Because when I'm watching him,
the one they got in the derby the other
something is not right, man. I'm sorry, guys, but something is not right, Harley. Honest to God.
When he first come back from the injury, like, I don't know about the pre-season because he was quite shocking in the pre-season, which I'm not that asked about because he's just getting up to speed again. Last season, he was regularly, like, consistently, for the most part, fantastic. He did have a very, messy game against Bournemouth. I personally feel as though a lot of the criticism that he faces is a result of the names he's compared to, and those names, social media didn't exist back then, in my opinion. Well, not in my opinion, it's a fact. Like when the man Vidic would get absolutely wrecked against like Hugo Rodallega or some other pony striker like that, you didn't have people on Twitter posting, haha, Nemanja Vidic, he's so crap. Do you know what I mean? All over Twitter. Same with John Terry, whenever he thingy. So if every player that's ever like been a centre half at the top level, like Van Dijk level, or a bit below. Because I think Van Dijk's the best to ever play in the Premier League centre back wise. They've all had a bad season, and if this is going to be his worst season of the lot, I really don't think he's been that bad. Bar a handful of games where I've thought.
No, the spotlight's on him. That's what it is. The spotlight's on him.
The only games off the top of my head that I can think where I thought, God, he was really substandard was Bournemouth away, United away. There's probably one or two more, but generally I feel like people like to blame him for things that aren't his fault just because of who he is.
Yeah, of course.
He gets a lot piled on him, in my opinion.
Like I said, the spotlight. You know what I mean? He came second to Messi a couple of years ago, when he's actually come from Southampton and he steered the ship, right?
Yeah.
Of course, everyone's saying, this guy's brilliant. You know what I mean? Comparing him to Rio Ferdinand, and I was doing the same. Understand? And then someone was like, he's the best. No one can get past him. No one dribbles past him.
Remember
we
that?
was boosting him up. The media was boosting him up as well. So
tells you how good
fans,
he is.
Yeah.
Tells you how good he is. The fact that he got dribbled past after about something like 80 games for Liverpool.
Yeah.
And rival fans were celebrating that as
it wasn't. He didn't even get past him.
Rival
was
fans
Pepe,
were
innit?
celebrating
He didn't get past him.
Like,
He didn't
his
get
pants
past him.
pulled down and bent over and showed the world his arsehole. It's so weird. Like
that's what I'm saying. So the everything he did, because he was pushed up so high and because he had the quality, there was just waiting for him to make a mistake. Any mistake, it would be highlighted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's sad.
Most of the mistakes he gets pinpointed at aren't even his fault.
Yeah, of course.
It's
his fault.
The standard is so high. I feel like Salah gets this as well. The standard is so high that anything but absolute perfection will be highlighted, and he's held to higher standards than anybody else.
Yeah, of course. They say something about what they say about he's not better than Vidic. Or Vidic. I think Vidic was the only thing I can say Vidic was better than him was in the air.
career. That's all I got. As a
player,
player,
in there, I'm not as a player. I'm not saying what they've got and who they've got around them, what they've won, bro. I'm talking about if you got them together, all their stats and everything. Virgil would have more.
Of course.
More.
I don't think there's
it's got more ability. It's faster.
No,
it's quicker. It's got a better touch. He can pass. Apart
from being able to slide tackle and just ram into people, I can't think of one aspect of the game that Vidic is better than Van Dijk.
Yeah,
not one.
Yeah.
He obviously was a fantastic defender. Vastly like overrated. When you put him in the conversation.
Let me ask you a question, Anton and Harley. Let me ask you guys a question. Yeah, say we bought Vidic from Southampton, would he have the same impact that Virgil van Dijk has had?
No.
He'd help us, but no.
As a leader, maybe. As a player, organizer, and the back. That's what you need. I was telling you about Libero, the ones who organizes the line and all that. Maybe with that, yes.
But other than
in this day and age, the football's different now. He's a defender that needs a Drogba or the big players next to fight against. You know what I'm saying? When you play against smaller players, you saw it in the Champions Leagues. When you play against smaller players, he's nowhere to be found. Or I feel someone who's fast and nimble, who's big like what's his name, Torres. You can't handle him.
People need to remember that out of Ferdinand and Vidic, Ferdinand was by far the better player and the better defender.
He was the better player.
Yeah, 100%.
By far.
Me and Anton met Ferdinand, Anton, the father side. Years ago. Years ago. He was tall, man. He was very tall. I don't get it. Like if you say in a career what you've won, I say Vidic. But as a player, man, if you're saying Vidic is better than him as a player, then you haven't watched football. I don't get it. I just don't get it. If you're talking about pace, passing, power, the only thing I could give Vidic is aggression. Other than that,
what you do is when someone mentions it again, do this comparison, right? Go get Van Nistelrooy and you get Henry. Who's the better striker? The better striker is Van Nistelrooy because he's just goal scoring. Exactly. But as a footballer, as the whole all round, it's Henry, isn't it? Just like Mbappe and Haaland. Haaland's the goal scorer. But Mbappe can score and set up. He can put it on the left, he can put it on the right, and he can do just what he can do up the top. He can do on the right, he can do on the left. He can interact with play at the back. Haaland couldn't do that. He's just more of a let the ball off and go run into the box and go score. Do you understand?
Exactly. I never get it. I never get the argument. It's a strange argument when I see it. You know what makes me laugh the most, guys? Like you never heard this argument when Van Dijk was the best defender. You only heard it when he's struggling this season. I mean, why didn't you say the same comparison before that?
Yeah.
It's weird.
When he came second to Messi with the Ballon d'Ors, no one said nothing.
That. Nobody
said nothing.
And they're forgetting he got done by Pickford. They're forgetting that. They're forgetting that his leg got taken off by Pickford. They forget things like that. Yeah, they had to stop him somehow, and they did it.
Yeah. I still think he's the best centre-back in the world, and there's nobody close to him.
Well, he's been voted again, hasn't he? He's been voted again. He's in the FIFA 11 again.
Not the best, like, you know, what you call it, not the best season. But I don't think there's a defender out there today who you can even compare to him.
Yeah, the arguments of football today, guys, is very strange. Honest to God. Me and Anton used to argue back in the day, but I remember Anton and my mate, our mate Michael Stevens arguing about Alan Shearer and the original Ronaldo. Remember that?
Oh, Fozzie. Oh, bro.
Do you know that, Harley? Someone, Anton and Michael, my mate Michael, they used to argue about Alan Shearer.
No, but because
original
of
Ronaldo,
Premier League. Because the Premier League is for me. I've seen it as a kid growing up.
He's older than us.
The papers and all that, the media. It was only focused. It was the narrative was the Premier League, and no one was better outside it. No one. And the attitude is, and I still find that. Still find it a little bit today. It's like you're a good player in Portuguese league, or a good player in the French league, but we only rate you if you can do it here, kind of thing, and attitude. I remember when he was picking up the Ballon d'Or, when I was picking up the Ballon d'Or, I remember to this day, they were saying, "Oh, Shearer could do much more things than him. Can he hold up the ball? Can he head the ball? Can he shoot with his left foot? Can he shoot with his right foot?" I was like, "Are you serious? What?"
It was the strangest argument. Shearer is good, don't get us wrong. Shearer is good.
Shearer, but he's very limited.
Original Ronaldo.
Shearer is good, but he's not Ronaldo.
No.
Come on, Harley.
But the thing is, I'm telling you, boys, from then way back, they used to argue about Shearer. I remember this tournament. Remember that tournament when Roberto Carlos scored a free kick? He scored Le Tournoi, 1990. For the World Cup in '98, so it was just introducing the world to the stadiums and things, the facilities. So they had a tournament, all the teams. England won that. And I remember.
Is it cutting out, or is it just me?
I remember. Me.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. And I remember they opened up the team just before Brazil and someone else and France played, and they said, "Oh, is he the best in the world? Even if we don't like it I'll never forget Richard Keys said it. Richard Keys. He said, even though he's the world best player, and we don't agree with it, should we agree? Should we? And it was little clippets. I was like, are you serious? And it was comparing again to Shearer. I was like, oh, this is... Yeah, but that's, like I said, it's the narrative to just force everyone to look Premier League.
The thing is,
English players as well.
You know, in football terms, like you only get a vote for what you see in it. If you don't see the other player, you don't watch the other league, then you won't know how good that person is. That's how I see it when I have arguments with these people.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're gonna do that, don't do that. Watch all the leagues, watch other players, and then have that analogy and say, then have that judgment, but not to say because you see it once and one thing to see left or right. I'm convinced this guy's the best. That's it.
It's a silly argument, guys. We're gonna do player ratings today as well. Let's do this one though. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but let's do it. So, Mr. Salah equaled the record today. 183 goals in overall competitions. He's equaled Robbie Fowler. What does Salah mean to you, Anton? Be honest, like in general. Obviously, watched Liverpool for a long time. Where do you rate him?
Salah, or what in the world, or
in Liverpool terms? You know what I mean? He's equal the striker, like striking, goals. Yeah. And we know Fowler. We grew up on Fowler.
You know what? I feel like, Salah is brilliant, but Salah could have been even more if he worked on his weaknesses, on his right foots and all that and things like that. And overall gameplay, he does make the chances and things like that. But I feel like he could be better. I actually feel that he could be better, especially with other weaker foot. It'd be a more dangerous animal.
Yeah.
If he could use both feet as well. And he scores all them goals. Yeah. Oh, he scored double.
Yeah. I think he's brilliant. I honestly think a lot of people already said he's taken over Gerrard's position in the all-time greatest Premier League player for Liverpool. But yeah, Harley, what do you think, mate? He's equal to striker. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't go as far as saying he's better than Gerrard, but he's bang up there. He is bang up there. He's a special player. He's special.
Yeah,
like,
good play.
The things he's pulled off for us over the years have been like ridiculous. There've been times where I've been stood there and he'll just pull something out, and I'll be like, "What have I just witnessed?" Even like when he's not the most like magical footballer to watch, the outputs there, consistent output, consistent finishes, and it's something I almost feel like he doesn't get enough credit for. I feel like at times people don't give him enough credit for his kind of finishing ability, and then at other times people don't give him credit for his all-round play. Don't get me wrong, I do like watch the odd thing he doesn't think that right foot could be a bit better, or Christ, Salah, that touch was horrible. But in terms of just an overall football player and a finisher, he's genuinely one of the best like I've seen. Not in just for Liverpool, but in the Premier League.
Actually, this one. Do you remember Fowler? Do you ever? What Fowler?
I am going to hold my hands up and say I am too young to be able to remember Robbie Fowler. But from what I've gathered, he was obviously I was back to.
Let me ask Fozzie this one. Fozzie, what do you reckon? Who's a better finisher of him and Salah and Fowler?
Bro, come on, man. Fowler was just one touch goal. You know what I mean? So Fowler,
I was about to say,
even if the greatest goal scorer in the Premier League history, Alan Shearer, he even said it. He said Fowler is the most natural finisher he's ever seen in his life.
And they always say it. And they used to say, why do you say? What do you mean by a natural finisher? He hasn't got as much goals as Shearer. Like Shearer wouldn't chip the keeper. He wouldn't chip the keeper. Shearer's blasting it in the keeper's face, and it's going to deflect in the goal. Both. Shearer reminds me of. I'm sorry, Shearer reminds me of. Remember the Ronto advert? It does exactly what it says on the tin. I just score goals. That's it. There's no curlers. There's no finesse. It's just a bang. Let's go.
But it was classic goals, though. Classic goals.
Yeah, don't get wrong. But
I gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I've watched clips of him. I've heard from like older people who like were old enough to remember him in like great detail. Yeah, he's the finishes I've seen him pull off. Like just watching back and from what I've heard, extremely clinical, extremely like just in front of goal. He's fantastic.
With Fowler, it was like one touch goal. You know what I mean? Salah needs a couple of touches to score. You know, with Salah, I gotta be real with you guys. Like, I love the guy. Now, people think I don't like him, but I'm just being honest about him. What Salah brings for me is like, without the team around him, he's not the same player. Like, if you look at Gerrard, when people talk about Gerrard could do things on his own. If you know what I mean.
Because
Salah needs that. Yeah, he needs the team. He needs a team built around him to score that many goals. You know what I mean? Look, when the team does well, he scores goals, right? When the team don't do well, you hardly see him in the pitch, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. With Gerrard, you're always going to see him on the pitch.
Isn't he?
Yeah?
Isn't he? He is still our top scorer this season, isn't he?
Yeah,
I believe.
I think Firmino was. I think he's taken over from Firmino now. Yeah.
I'm 100% sure he was in the COVID season as well. Although obviously the numbers do go up when the team does do well. The thing is with Salah, he can do things on his own. He just doesn't do it as consistently as Gerrard would.
Yeah.
Like Gerrard was really, really special to the point where he would take a team, even the most shit teams that I've ever seen. He put them on his back, and he just.
That's been my argument for as long as I can remember, because you always get people compare Lampard with him, and I always tell them, put Lampard with with Traore and flipping Steve Finnan and all them players there, and see if he was the Champions
If you could do
League.
the same performance.
Please, I beg you. He couldn't do it. Couldn't do it because he's not that player that you follow through a burning house. Gerrard is the person, a captain that he said, "The burning house. I'm going to run through it. You to follow me." You wouldn't even think that I'm following you, brother. I'm following. I'm coming with you.
If Steven Gerrard ran into a burning building, I'd shove him out of the way and go in first.
Yeah, so you don't get hurt.
That's true. Football
Yeah,
says,
you won't follow Lampard. You won't follow Lampard.
big up,
Lampard,
big up, brother,
yeah,
big up.
we're going to go in his house. It's on fire, but yeah, Lampard. No.
Yeah, man, Lampard. Yeah, nah.
No way.
He would never do what Gerrard's done, man. I've always said that. Like, if you have those players around you, like you said, and he wouldn't do what he was doing.
That's what I'm saying.
Deflection.
And just remember, and I told this Chelsea fan, I rinsed him. I said, just remember, if you check it right now, go and see who Jose Mourinho wanted to sign before he comes to Chelsea. His first thing on his head, his first person he had on his head, who was it?
Gerrard.
The guy had to. He said, "I'll come back to you in 10 minutes." Came back. He goes, "I don't want to tell you the answer." I go, "Because you know what? I know the answer. I want to let you know the answer."
These Chelsea fans are the exact same people who will argue that Mourinho's the best manager of all time, or up there, or at least the best manager Chelsea have ever had. So exactly.
Well,
I don't know about that.
He's the best
He was
manager.
good. He was good.
He's the best manager Chelsea have ever had. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
But football changes, isn't it? Football changes. It just hasn't developed. With the time, innit? It just hasn't done his thing with the time. Like that defensive football he played, it's outdated now. Nobody plays that type of football anymore.
No, the part of the bus,
Yeah, I think that's a long time ago stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys. So obviously, I'm going to do the player ratings now. But what do you think about the Premier League standards now? Can we make top 4 or not? Let's start with Anton.
Can we make top 4?
The way we're playing?
It's possible. But yeah, I think this season, all the best teams, most of the best teams have gone into the transition. I feel like only Arsenal and Man City have been playing well, and the rest has been, everyone's just fighting for the rest, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel that next season, I think everyone's going to re-up and get more players and get what they needed. I think next season is going to be the fire season, I think. So I would say no already, again, for Europa League or Champions League. But if we do win-win situation. And that's it. That's me.
Yeah. How about you, Harley? Can we make it or not, mate?
We're doing it.
Huh?
We're doing it.
You're doing it, yeah?
We are.
Wow.
I've said...
Let's go again.
I've been saying this for so long, haven't I? Even when we were like, shit, we were getting battered by Brighton and Wolves. I was still saying I think we'll get top 4. I think the last couple of results we've managed to string together are going to be really important. Go West Ham, exactly the same. Get 3 points there, and I think more people are going to... obviously, it's a big if, but I think more people will start seeing it. Obviously, we need other results around us to go our way. Yeah. Ideally, we win every game until the end of the season, and I believe we are capable of doing that. I'm not saying we will, but I believe we're capable. If I was a gambling man, which I can be sometimes, actually, I tell you a lie, but I would be willing to bet on Liverpool winning all 7 of the remaining games. I think it's more than possible. I think we're actually looking like a team that doesn't just win games, but we dominate games now. Yeah. Because everyone's saying, oh, well, it's only Leeds, it's only Forest, or if we beat West Ham, we say it's only West Ham. People need to realise that's where we've lost half our points this season. Yeah. So if we stop losing the points there, particularly away from home, no problem anymore. I think we can win all our remaining games. So yeah, I think we're doing it.
I think personally we can do it, but it's just that midfield jumble that could hurt us. That midfield, because we ain't got that continuity in midfield. Yeah, that's what's going to hurt us, I think.
True, we're starting to get a little bit more, though, aren't we? And if you sprinkle Thiago in there, then even better. But right now, we have a hero from Toxic by the name of Curtis Jones, and he's got to carry us to top 4, mate.
I don't know about that, man.
If he does that, good on him. But it's very much unlikely he's going to do it. But you know what? I'm a dream myself, so hopefully they could do.
Yeah, we just got to sort that defensive side out, guys. We just got to be gelling as a team, and then we'll see where we go from there. After today, the doubts are back in my head, but it's a strange old season. It's a strange old season.
So I'm just going to ask you this now: have you actually taken more negatives out of this than positives? Just, like, obviously the result, but in terms of the performance, do you feel as though that was like? Are you worried now going forward based on that?
No, it's like, like, what is it, like one step forward, like 2 steps back. That's how it is with Liverpool at the moment. And today's result, you're forgetting these are the bottom teams, Harley. It's not like we're facing top teams in the Premier League and we're struggling against bottom teams.
Yeah.
I mean, and it shouldn't be like that.
True, but for me,
I don't think you should do that because the teams they need points, so they're desperate.
Yeah, I was also bringing that up, and the fact that we're even beating them now, for me alone, is a positive, because that's something that a couple of months ago we wouldn't have been able to kind of do.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to remember that they are fighting for their lives. They're fighting to stay in the Premier League. Every game is probably like a final for them. So I don't feel too begrudged. I also feel as though they were lucky to score both the goals they did. I feel like maybe they deserved to score one, and that, as I said earlier, that Brennan Johnson chance, they never actually scored. But for me, that was a game where I'm thinking, in terms of how we performed, like, we've just had 80% of the ball, and in the second half especially, we bombarded them. That's a game that you could have easily told me, based off the performance, we won 3-0 there, and I'd be like, oh, okay, that doesn't surprise me. Like, there were things that weren't fantastic, but there were also things that were. So I don't know, I'm happy with it personally, as long as we just keep it going. And the momentum builds, doesn't it? We've just got 3 points in a scrappy game, and that'll boost morale for the fans, for the players, and I'm happy with it.
All right, guys, so we're going to do the player rating. Alisson, what do you give him, Harley?
I'd give him, it's 1 through 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to give him, can we do decimal numbers, or is that a bit?
Nah, I don't know. Okay. It's the first time I use this.
I'd say 6.5, but if not, more so leaning towards a 6. He didn't do anything wrong, but he didn't have a lot of chances to do much
6.5
right.
Got it. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my opinion, anyway.
I agree with him. 6.5.
Robertson, 6. Anton?
Robertson, 6.
Harley?
I'd again give him a 6.5. I thought there were some things he did really well, and then other times I'm like, what the fuck, why are you not strapping Nico Williams there? But
yeah, that's why I gave him a 6.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6.
I think that's a fair rating. That's a fair
6
rating.
is fine. Yeah, just give him a 6. I didn't think he was outstanding today. I mean, it's just Robertson is Robertson, isn't it? It's either up or down, or in between. Van Dijk, Harley.
I don't think he did anything too wrong, but he wasn't fantastic. Again, that's another 6.5 for me. He was there, didn't make any mistakes, but I didn't watch him and think, wow, that was phenomenal at any particular point.
What about you, Anton?
I would say 6.
Yeah, I say 6.
For me, all of them played 6, but
we can see the 2 goals, innit? I thought he was more vocal in the Leeds game than this one, if you know what I mean, guys. I thought he was a bit too quiet today. So I'll give him a 6. Konate, that's going to be a...
this might divide us.
Yeah, it's going to divide us, this one. Anton?
Whoa. I'm going to give him a 6.5.
I thought he was awful.
For effort. He's trying, isn't he?
I thought that striker for Nottingham Forest dominated him, mate.
The one we used to have.
The one we used to have. Yeah. We saw him this season. So he should know him. We only saw him this season.
Mate, he scored against us in the other game. Yeah. For me, this might raise a few eyebrows based on some people I've spoke to. I'm going to give Konate a 7 personally. I thought he was really, really, really good on the ball, which was... And we had the ball for 82% of the time, so his performance on the ball was more important than off it. I thought he played forward well, dribbled it forward well, and he was getting involved in them physical battles. The effort was there, even when he got bullied a bit. Against strikers like Awoniyi, he's a fucking powerful man. you are going to get knocked around a bit. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Things
but
happen.
Harley, I thought
overall,
like get out of that battling with him. Just defend, just be normal. Stop trying to use your muscles around the striker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what angered me.
Sometimes you can't win every single battle. That's the youngest in me.
You're trying to win balls that you can't win.
Do you know I used to do that a lot? Carragher as well. Carragher used to do that just to try and win you can't win every battle. You got to pick them. You know what I mean? Eventually got older and smart.
I suppose when you've got a Van Dijk kind of player there, you need someone who's a little bit more of a kind of engager. Maybe he overstepped it a little bit. Yeah. But overall, I think the best things Konate did today were when the ball was at his feet for me. So that's why I'm giving him that number.
John Conway says, I think we can still get top 4. Yes, okay. You're with Harley. I'm a bit hesitant about it, but yeah. Albert says VVD was okay too. Konate 7. I actually think he played well. Oh, so I might be seeing it differently then. But Anton, did you say he's 6 or what did you say? 6.5?
Oh, for Konate, 6.5.
Yeah, I'll give him 6.5 because I got like whatever I'm close to, I agree with. So I say 6.5. I don't think he was outstanding, but man, listen, everyone watches the game differently, innit? At the end of the day, Trent, I thought he was the man of the match in the first half. I mean, second half he was in and out of it, but first half he was dominant in that position. So Harley, what do you think of Trent, mate?
8.5, phenomenal. Phenomenal for me. He was doing everything he needed to do in that kind of inverted fullback role again. Phenomenal. 2 assists, I believe it was. His corner delivery, great. His free kick delivery, he nearly got an assist for Van Dijk. That was great. I don't think he put a foot wrong. He's just grown from strength to strength in this new role.
I like this comment. He said, Awoni is almost as wide as he is tall.
Yeah, he's a big mother.
He's a big
mother beep. Yeah. He's a big
So Harley, what do you give Trent? He said 8.5, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to say something more?
I'm just saying, Awoni, he's built like a bleep house, yeah.
Beep house, isn't it? A beep house, isn't it?
Yeah.
A brick beep house.
Yeah. I was nearly said shit brick house then. Shit brick house. No, but yeah, Trent for me was fantastic. He's got an argument for man of the match for me. He might just be it actually. It's between 2 for me anyway, and he's one of the 2.
Listen, next season I want him to play in that position sometimes, but I want him to go back to his right back position eventually, like just to.
I want him to
as long as we get the right midfielders, Anton, if you know what I mean.
I want to play right. I want to play right the centre free.
Yeah,
and we get a nice right back.
Oh, you don't want him as a right back because he can't defend.
Do you know what? I want a centre back as a right back.
You can put Gomez
What's
there.
his name? Gomez. We'll put Gomez there. I want Gomez there.
Guys, can I ask you a question here? Am I the only one who thinks like Gomez is a good right back? Because a lot of people just knock that guy. He's not a centre back.
I prefer him right back.
Anton, do you remember when he was younger?
I don't trust him.
At Charlton, he was a right back.
Yeah, I don't trust him centre back.
I'm going to go out and say this. He's a pretty good right back, and you're going to be hard pressed to find a better 4th choice centre back than him, in my opinion.
He's not consistent, Harley. That's the problem.
I agree. That's a bit of an issue.
You know what is, Harley? The issue I have with Gomez, Anton and Harley, the issue I have with him is he's not consistent. That's one of the things. And secondly, he's not brave as a centre back. I mean,
he's not
you've
brave.
got to be brave as a centre back.
Yeah, he's not brave. Especially in this day and age, you have to be brave. You have to be.
Well, that's the thing. If you're next to Van Dijk, you need to be the one. I said about Konate earlier. You need to be the one that's engaging more. So if anything, I prefer Gomez as the kind of Van Dijk backup.
You know
when Van
what?
Dijk's not there, put him on the left.
To be honest, he should have kicked on. You know when we won the league.
Yeah, he got injured, didn't he?
He should have kicked on then. I know, but it's Dennis when he should have kicked on.
Injuries really didn't help. If he would have stayed fit, I think we'd be looking at him as much better.
I love Gomez. I love Gomez.
He was going to replace Maguire in that early, they said.
And so what do you think of Trent, bro?
Trent is going to get a nice 8 from me.
I agree with Harley this one, 8.5.
I'm gonna give him 8. But you know what? The majority say 8.5, so I'll say 8.5.
Because the first half he was dominant. He was proper dominant, bro.
Yeah, I'm being picky. I'm being different. Innit? Sorry, I'm just being different.
We've got to be different. We're all not going to agree. So yeah.
So I'm gonna agree with you guys. Yeah. Well,
this is gonna be tough for us, and Mr. Jones Anton. Sorry, Ed, I had to start with you.
Let's be real with him. Let's be like, he's done well his last couple of games, but he's still Curtis Jones. He's still gonna do Curtis Jones. He's still gonna do lose the ball unnecessarily, when he can just play simple.
Yeah.
Do the extra touch or extra dribble. He showed his true colours today. You know what I mean? And he didn't play that well. So I would say.
Mm-hmm.
He did track back and run, so I'll give him.
I'll
give him a 6. I'll give him a 6.5. Do a 6.5 for his work rate.
I could see Harley losing it over there, man. Harley, calm down, man.
Please don't.
Calm down, mate. I know it's your boy, but
I'm good.
Go on, tell me, Harley.
Closely. For me, I'm going to give him a 7. I thought the work rate, the tracking back, really good. There was a moment as well where he had it on the edge of the box and he was surrounded by players.
Yeah.
He'd done this little, that little spin thing that Anthony does for no reason on the wing, repeatedly. I can't remember what it's called, but he done a version of that, except it was just one whole 180 turn. Took it through a Forest player's legs to another Liverpool player, and I just he kept having moments like that. I thought he was quite important in terms of breaking the blocks down.
Yeah,
I honestly would say that this could be considered a 7.5 if it wasn't for the 2-3 moments he gave the ball away. But that'll come with time for him. I thought he was quite good. I thought he was very important, actually, in ways that you might not necessarily see unless you're specifically looking for it.
Yeah.
I look for him. I do look for him, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm a kind of person that looks.
I think some people misunderstand us. I honestly think people misunderstand us. We want him to do well, Harley. It's not like we don't want him to do well. We want him to do, be the first team regular. That's as far as I go. I don't know about Anton, but
to be fair, I want him to be first team regular. Because he's from Liverpool, Sports Liverpool. I want him to be a first team regular.
But he's got to want it, Anton. He's got to want it.
Yeah.
I would want to want it. I think he showed some of that tracking back and working he done today several times as well. It wasn't just 1 or 2. It was constant several. I'm looking and thinking, this is how a lad who's now growing up fully and realising what he needs to do is doing. Because he's got the talent. Now he's got the work rate. I'm really impressed. I think he's going to go from strength to strength.
Someone asked him, didn't it? Next season, Liverpool's going to buy new midfielders. What do you think about that? He said, even if Liverpool buy a new midfielder, I'm still confident I could make the first team. So
I love that.
I like that. And
people will see that on Twitter and turn around and be like, fuck off, he's not good enough, he's so bad.
You've got to fight, man. You've got to fight.
But he's got to fight, though. Yeah.
You've got to believe in yourself, though. Do you know what I mean?
He believes in himself.
He's a man, he believes in himself.
Yeah, he believes in himself.
And I respect that, and I actually admire that.
Did you say 7, yeah? Harley?
I did, yeah.
I agree with Anton on this one. 6.5. I expected more, to improve even further this game. And he hasn't showed it to me today. But it's not just him, bro. I blame the majority of the team. But yeah, tracking back, he was fantastic. But he didn't do nothing going forward. I wanted to see more going forward. I want him to do that through ball he did for Jota on a regular basis. So have that risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There wasn't much space for him to do that, though, to be fair. Forrest were really,
I hope, listen.
Sitting back.
All great players find spaces to do something when you play football.
Yep. That is true.
Yep. We know from experience. We used to do that ourselves. Fabinho, guys, I thought, I'm worried.
Really?
I gotta be real. I'm worried. I'm serious. I'm really worried, Harley. I'm really worried.
I thought he was really good.
I'm worried, Harley.
I'll
start with you. I'll start with you, Harley. What do you give him?
I thought he was one of the better players on the pitch today. I'd give him a 7.5.
Oh, wow.
I thought some of his...
You're a very generous guy, Harley, I don't know you, bro, but I know you. You're a generous guy. So if I know who went out one day, you're buying all the drinks for the whole night. I'll be like, you know what? You're generous, man.
Harley, I'm gonna go to Anfield. Yeah,
That's
I'm
a
coming
very
to
good
Anfield.
trait.
We'll go out with you, bro. We'll go out with you.
Don't ever lose that trait, man. That's
I'm gonna take that as a compliment. I think.
I'm not taking the mic. I'm not taking the mic. I'm not taking the mic. I promise you.
Just don't do the jury service here.
Yeah, George, he only killed 4 people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's all right.
Let him out. He's all right. You can do well. I reckon 6 months and he'll be a PE teacher in a kids' school again.
I know we went on a murderous rampage, but it was just a mistake. I think give him 3 months and give him a £50 fine. You know what? I mean? It could have been 6 people, but he calmed himself down. He'll grow as a person.
No, you know what? You're a positive person. That's a good,
he is. I like Harley. That's why I bring Harley on, bro. He's the best
positive person, man.
I appreciate that, boys. But
you know what I like about you, Harley? You're different from all of us. You're different from all of us. That's like what makes a great channel when people are all different.
Yeah.
Huh?
I
He's a younger breed. He's a younger breed. He's a millennial.
Yeah. He's not a millennial, are you?
What?
Yeah, he's sorry. Yeah, he's sorry.
Yeah. He's a millennial, isn't he?
Yeah. Fazil is in. Remember, Fazil is in that.
Of course.
But for me, anyway, back onto the actual topic. For me, what Fabinho did right was I thought his interceptions, his positioning was all. Maybe I'm just comparing him to some of the absolute stinkers he has had some stinkers. I think we all know that.
Yeah.
But I thought today I was pleasantly surprised by how good he was. I'm not saying that I think he's a bad player per se, but he has had difficult patches of form. And what I think really helps him is Trent Alexander-Arnold goes next to him in that build-up phase.
Yeah.
I like him a lot more when he's building up in a double pivot than on his own because I don't think his left foot's particularly good. I don't think he's massively press resistant compared to like say Rodgers, Partey's, Turin, players like that. So I think having that player next to him in the build-up is very helpful. But I thought he was done well defensively. You've got to keep in mind as well, he was playing with the mentality of if I get a yellow card, I'm going to miss the next 2 games, is it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
But I'm not talking about just this game. I'm just worried in general. That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough. But
I watched him live enough this season to think to myself, he's not turning as he used to. Like he's struggling to turn. He's always struggled to run. But maybe it's just me. Maybe he's playing too many games. Maybe that's what's happening.
It's a fair opinion. I think too many games is a factor. But in this specific game, which is lonely what I'm judging off, I was fairly, I didn't think he'd done too bad.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good. I thought he was one of the better players on the pitch. Not too bad's an understatement. But
so what do you give him?
7.5. I said.
Okay.
But
Anton?
I'm sure you as well.
I would give him effort. Again, it's not his best game, but as Harley said, he did the right certain things. He did right, his position. I'll give him 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll stick with 7. 7. I'll give him 7. Let's read the comments, guys, before we move on. Albert is a legend, by the way, guys. So watch him on other channels. Huh?
Easy Albert.
Was
it Anfield today? He played well. Sometimes the TV doesn't do justice to off-the-ball stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. Like sometimes I've watched when I go to the game. What I do sometimes is I will record the match on LFC TV, watch it back, analyze it because I've got an LFC TV subscription and they often show the matches after. Yeah. I record a lot of matches and watch them back, and I'll think, I remember this player doing this and that. The telly doesn't show that.
Of course.
So when I watch games on the telly, which is most away games and the odd home game, I'm there thinking, am I not seeing the full thing here? So I don't know, but
I think I think it's better watching the game live, like in person.
No, of course, nothing beats live.
You can concentrate on the players, innit?
You can do a player count
individually.
You're much less likely to ball watch as well. The TV obviously naturally shows you the ball and the runners. That's the main thing it shows you. But if you want to watch, if the ball's in like the third that you're defending in, and you want to watch what your front three are doing, you can specifically look at that because you've just got eyes everywhere.
Spot on. LVFC TV says, big up lads. Okay. Thanks for coming on, guys. Honestly, appreciate that. I'll get to all the comments. Let me just see the new people's coming on. Obviously, that's Uncle Rod says big up. LVFC TV says big up, lads. Make sure people smashing the like and comment and subscribe to this channel. Much appreciated, brother. Much appreciated for that. So the next person is the person that everybody talks about is Henderson. We'll start with Anton. What do you think of him, mate?
Oh, Henderson. Oh, Henderson. I'm just going to give you, I'm not even just talk about him. I'm just going to give him a 6.5. Effort, just effort.
Effort, yeah?
Just effort.
I think a lot of people are a bit harsh on him, but... Yeah.
No, false.
Not you, just in general.
Like I told someone before, if I was a person who's going to open up a sandwich shop, and I base all the players' attributes or something on a sandwich that you'd like and make that sandwich, that person, how they play and their personality, Henderson will be a bread and butter sandwich. I'm sorry, it's very limited, just plain, plain, just
sorry,
bread and butter. There's no ham in it, there's no salad, no mayo.
It's dry, yeah? Just dry.
Bread and butter. It's just
play the devil's
advocate.
advocate.
It's going to fill your belly up, that's it. It's going to fill your belly up. And that's it.
So to play the devil's advocate, if you whack that son of a bitch in a toaster, perfect.
It might be great, yeah.
It might be,
So what it has around it can be very influential. The bread and butter, he holds things together.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought he did a lot of holding things together today.
That's what he did. That's what he does. That's what he does.
Yeah.
He's an organizer. He's not the best footballer. He's just organizer. Of men.
I thought he did.
You know what it was, guys? His athleticism used to get him through games, innit? Now that's slowly disappearing. He's struggling.
All you can see is talking.
Sad.
I personally think it was there today in terms of his defensive ability and box to box. Like, he was really up and down, really hard work. And the place where he went wrong for me was what he was doing in the final third. I really wasn't like... He was obviously trying things. He was trying to cross. He was trying to play ball.
He still thinks Mane is playing for us, bro. That's the problem. He still thinks Mane is in the far post.
Do you know what I like? Do you know what I like about him? When he's on that right-hand side and the ball gets tucked back to him and outside the 18-yard box, he always crosses it first time. Mm-hmm. And he never does anything. No one headers it. No one gets to it.
Because Mane used to be there. That's why. He thinks Mane is still there.
But
it's not there anymore.
He's still doing it. Someone needs to tell him Mane is not there no more. Poor guy. I do like him though. I really do like the guy.
Yeah, 6.5 for me. Solid, not particularly special.
So Anton gave him a 6, and you gave him 6.5. Okay, I'll go with you.
I swear I said 6.5. Didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
So sorry about that. My bad. I'm getting old, isn't it? Yeah, 6.5. Diogo Jota got a brace. Coming back slowly. What do you think of him, Harley?
Good, really good. Yeah, I said earlier tonight that there was two men that you could argue man of the match for me. I'm going to give Jota the 8.5 as well. Yeah. I said earlier on in the show, he is the Diogo Jota that nearly won us the quadruple. He's the Diogo Jota that we signed and had an immediate impact. That player's back now.
I want him to be more direct. I mean, like when he first came, he was just running at people. I want him to get back to that. And he was good at that.
But he's finishing fast. We can't have everything, can we?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. On a little bit off topic, but on the subject of kind of running at people, I cannot wait for Luis Diaz to be fully back up to speed and starting. Because with this new system, a lot of the time we have the left wing isolated 1v1 with the fullback. Diaz is such a good 1v1 dribbler. He's going to absolutely tear shit up. In this new 3-2-5 system, he's going to tear shit up.
And he's clever.
Yeah, he's very clever. Uncle Albert says Trent was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I said it in the first half. Nobody can touch him. So we'll give Anton. What are you going to give Diogo Jota?
Jota, same 8.5. Same. He was immense, and I feel like he's come back to his best. Do you know, I was really impressed by his finish against Leeds. I think the first one and second one, he came across and he hit first time, hit the post and in. That's not easy to do. That is not easy to do. The technique for that is you've got to be a technician for that.
Yeah.
And he, bam, hits it straight off the of the curve where Trent curled in like just on top of the 8-yard box, and he hits the first time, posted in perfect. So yeah, I think he's back to his finishing best. Yeah, 8.5.
8.5. Cool. Next one, Gakpo, Anton.
Gakpo, the new Firmino. Yeah, I'll give him a 7. Just a 7.
Yeah, I think like with Gakpo, he's having an issue of consistency, isn't he, guys? That's the problem.
It's the
consistency. He plays a good game, then he just disappears in the next game. Listen, he's only been here for a couple of months, so it's going to take time.
It did work well.
Yeah. Look, he's young. Well. He's been here a couple of months. You know, he's okay.
His build-up play was brilliant as well.
He's done okay today. Like he's one of them though that when he's at his best, the impact that he has is even more apparent. Like the dribbling in tight spaces, the creativity, the positioning, I think he's excellent. Yeah. I think he's excellent. I thought he was solid, but not stand out today. 7 out of 10 for me as well.
Yeah. I'll give him 7 as well. It's the work rate you guys always saying it. So
and he helps with that midfield battle as well.
Listen. What I like about him, I mentioned it a lot with Gakpo. Compared to Firmino, he keeps possession better, and he's a powerful runner on the ball.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, so
you're right.
The
I
future,
can see him.
Yeah.
In the future, I can see him doing well.
Yeah. That's what I like about him. Harley, the last one, Salah.
I'm gonna say 7.7. If I could have 7.25, I'd have it because I'm nearly on the fence here. I am, but no, I thought the goal he scored was really impressive. He had 2 men trying to fucking. Have you ever watched WWE? You know Dolph Ziggler, that finishing move he used to do, the fucking zigzag. That's what they were trying to do to him in that penalty box. Fucking Dolph Ziggler type WWE shit, and he still managed to score.
But he's strong, Salah. He's very strong.
Yeah. And the fact that he managed to even like get the goal from that situation was impressive. Was he out of the game at times? Kind of, but we were also you have to keep in mind that a lot of the time we were trying to get him out wide, and he was competing in them 1v1 dribbles. No, you know what? 7.5. The more I think about it, the more I remember some of the 1v1 dribbles he pulled off. Yeah. And I was impressed with that. So you know what? 7.5 for Salah. Goal under duress as well. High pressure moment he stepped up, which is something he struggles to do the last few games. And the 1v1s as well, 1v1 dribbling. Fantastic.
Yeah. Anton?
I agree, 7.5. And Hardy said it perfectly, under duress.
Yeah.
The finishing there, under that pressure, it's brilliant. So I'll say 7.5.
Albert gives Jones 7. He said he was at the stadium today, so he was also good.
Okay.
He played to instruction. He is, I said it, cementing a place in that midfield. I think so. Yeah, I think he's getting used to the midfield position. It's just
the thing as a midfielder. Particularly as a young midfielder, you can't always be the guy who takes the game by the scruff of the neck. Sometimes you need someone who will just control the tempo. Because you've got to keep in mind, we are somewhat, at least, at times, playing him in Thiago's role, which is a tempo setter. Someone who slows the game down and speeds
deep
it up.
Deep line playmaker.
Yeah. So we had him playing that at times, but then at times where we needed to move numbers up and we weren't being pressed as much, we would have him shy in that kind of Odegaard role, but on the other side, as Odegaard plays it on the right in the half spaces in the channels, Jones does it off the left. But I know he didn't make many splitting balls and things like that, but sometimes to break down these low blocks, you just have to pass it down the box and wait and be patient. And we did that well today as a team. And for me, he was not necessarily he was the heartbeat, but he was a part of it, if that makes sense. He was really, I thought he was quite important, and he done well. But like comparing to his performance against Leeds and even Arsenal and Chelsea, I'd say this is the worst out of the 4 he's played, but he was still good, which says a lot about the form he's in.
Yeah, Albert says Henderson has no business being in that team. Klopp has no business playing Henderson for 90 minutes.
I understand why.
Worrying. Listen, Henderson.
Who are we going to pick? Who are we going to play?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's true. We ain't got.
Who are we going to play there?
Oxlade-Chamberlain?
I understand why he did it, and that's because if you're going to have Trent in the central positions, and you obviously want Salah in the central positions, you need someone on that right side to hold the width. Otherwise, you're just all on the same vertical line. And Henderson is really good at holding that width. I understand an argument for Elliott, but is he necessarily? He runs, he tries, but I don't know if he's got the power in the tackle. I like Harvey Elliott a lot. He'll grow, he'll improve. He's only young, but is he necessarily ready to fill in? He
needs some Nigerian food as well, that boy.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, he needs to toughen up, man. Jeez, he's too frail. He's intelligent on the ball, good technique. He rarely loses the ball as much as like Jones.
Yeah,
but he just needs to just toughen up. Because you're playing in them central positions, I can see him just getting bodied off the ball easy.
Yeah, he definitely has to do something to like. He hasn't got the pace, Anton. That's the problem with him, isn't it? He hasn't got the pace. He hasn't got the power.
It's the power, isn't it?
He's limited.
It's not pace, about intelligence and that.
He needs a lot of work. I think he's still worried after that injury as well, and
that's back at the back of your mind and that. Yeah, I understand.
I think that's the problem. Albert says Fabinho played well, but he ran out of gas. It's more or less every game, Albert. It's not the first game.
Thinking about it now.
You
know when we took him off, I was thinking in my head, like, I would love to see in this new system we've got, which is obviously the 3-2-5/3-2-2-3. In my head, I was thinking Thiago and Trent together in the build-up is going to be absolutely filthy. And when Klopp did it,
it would.
I was so happy to see Thiago come on and replace Fabinho, just because I'm thinking, okay, how are you going to get the ball off these two?
Yeah.
Like, that overall possession performance was fantastic. Sprinkle Thiago into a team that's already got 80% of the ball. You're fucking laughing. Do you know what I mean?
What I don't understand is, Anton,
we should have got midfielders.
Yeah, what I don't understand, why doesn't Thiago play as a number 6 sometimes? He played like that for Bayern Munich.
It's the physicality of the league, in my opinion. But I think you can, with Trent in this inverted fullback role, you can get more out of that, if that makes sense.
It is the physicality of the league. It is the physicality of the league, but him and Fabinho are failing because they're not meant to be playing too many games like that. We should have had midfielders in from last season, and maybe we could have just played them sporadically, and we got more out of them. We couldn't play them as much as we've been playing them. That's why they've been effed. That's why there's a difference between Fabinho of last year and this year.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. You're right, Anton.
You understand? When we was playing centre back as well,
when Salah was in,
when we was playing centre back, as well, he was comfortable centre back. Playing defensive midfield, he was loving it when he got released to play there again. It's just been overplayed, overused in the gegenpress.
It's night and day, you know that. Like, if you look at Fabinho last season and this season, it's night and day. Because
that's what I'm saying.
Fabinho, when Mane and Salah,
the whole team, you could see it's night and day. He was
scoring the goals. He was actually scoring the goals.
The whole team there. You challenge for four trophies, and you're playing like this now. Yeah. It's got to be because they're out of steam,
out of gas, man.
And they didn't recuperate. They should have recuperated.
Yeah. But we've got that kind of ownership in it. We've got that kind of ownership, which just have to accept it.
And Klopp was too honest, man. Yeah. Klopp was too honest. Can you imagine if it was Mourinho would have sold them out?
He would have snapped ages ago.
Because they're not giving me money. These guys upstairs are not giving me money. He would say that. Klopp would say, we can't get everything. It's not that kid who wants a Ferrari at Christmas. No, you know what I'm saying?
He can't drive.
It's great. Bam.
To be fair though, I like the way Klopp's gone about it, because obviously he can't go, nah, John Henry's a shit house, his wife's got fake tits.
Harley,
he's a gentleman.
It's not just a gentleman. Like, he knows what he signed for, Anton. He knows what he signed for.
He's classy.
He signed for this. He signed for this.
He's classy. He's classy.
When you sign a contract, they tell you what we're going to give you, and he knew he was getting this from the beginning. And that's what he signed for, Harley. What I loved the most is when someone turned around to him and said, well, if you're not happy with this situation, wouldn't you go somewhere else? He turned around, he put his foot down, he said, this is my club. For me, that's more valuable than anything else you could say. I've always said it, guys. Before we go, I've always said about Klopp. I've always said, like, compared to other managers, he's the only one that will say to Real Madrid, to Barcelona's, all these teams, nope, I want to stay at the club I'm at. If you get other managers, they'll leave you straight away. So we've got to be careful what we wish for when people say get Klopp out, because you're not going to get a manager like this. You're not going to get a manager.
When people say Klopp out, I said you out first. You out first, because how many managers would have took on that situation when Liverpool got? And
I think he's the only one.
And then people upstairs have said, you know what? You can only sell to buy. You cannot buy. We can't give you money straight up like that. You have to sell to buy. But I haven't got any players really to sell. Well, somehow you're going to have to wait and make money.
Exactly.
Guardiola would have said, goodbye. Jose Mourinho said, I'm not even going to come meet you for that. How dare you? I want money. There's no way.
They've offered Ancelotti, Anton, this job before Klopp. And they told him what his limits are, and he said no, thank you, no, thank you. And he
There you go.
And they gave the job to Klopp. So it clearly shows people need to be careful what they wish for, because I see a lot of people saying Klopp out, but they're not thinking like what are you gonna suffer after this? You know what I mean? And we've seen me and Anton.
Say to him, who are you gonna get? Say to him, who are you gonna get?
There's not one man, past or present, alive or dead, bar maybe Bill Shankly, who I'd swap him for. Be that a player, be that a manager. You could offer me Diego Maradona back from the dead in his prime, and I'd be like, no, mate, I want you even Klopp.
Harley, it took us 30 years to get someone like Klopp, bro. Me and Anton was living the high life back in the day with Kenny Dalglish. I mean, give him that 6 months, Anton, we said, didn't it? Give him that 6 months off. They didn't give it to him. We've got Graham Souness, then we've got Roy Evans, then we've got Gerard Houllier. We just, listen, 30 years it took us to get him.
I've got to turn around and give Gerard Houllier a bit of credit, though. Obviously, God rest his soul. He done some fantastic things.
He done good.
Roy Evans, not so much. But...
It's just a nice guy, Roy Evans. That was the problem.
Yeah, he was.
Nice guys finish last, as they say, innit? That was the problem. But guys, we're doing it on a regular basis again. I know everybody can't come on all the time. Mm-hmm. We're going to continue it. Yeah. We're going to build and, get the support on here as well. I think I'm going to do another episode of Let's Talk LFC if you guys are up for it on Monday. I might do it earlier time, go back to the normal time, Anton, the old one, like 9 o'clock.
What's the normal time? 9 o'clock? Yeah, no.
Let's go back to 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock Monday night, yeah.
Yeah, we could talk about everything around the club and what's to come in the future as well. I've enjoyed this, guys. Honestly, I've enjoyed this today.
Me too.
Liverpool have won. We're 7th. We've only moved up 1 place. Can we get top 4? Nobody knows.
Of course we can.
We will.
All right, guys.
Of course we can.
I'll see you. I might come back tomorrow. I'll check what's the transfer and all that stuff, and do a pre video and just talk about it.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah. Let me know. All right, guys. We'll have to go because I've got work in the morning. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
All the best, gentlemen. Good night.
Night.